I'm the first African-American female and Democrat. Yes, I was never celebrated or congratulated.
While running for probate judge in 2020, Christina Peterson posted a satirical
Word of the day, homeless sexual? Is that something a judge should be putting out on any of the social media platforms?
A little later.
Judge, you want to take a break?
Christina Peterson did not do herself any favors during 7 days of hearings beginning last September.
This judge is just as terrible and incompetent as the super mayor Tiffany Hayard. Check this out.
The Judicial Qualifications Commission have taken 6 days so far, spread over 3 months. Judge Peterson originally faced 50 counts, but those have since been cut nearly in half. They still include what Peterson did to a woman who just wanted to get her biological father's name right on her marriage certificate.
I just don't have a memories of my dad. I don't know who he is.
These are the first public comments from P.J. Skelton, the Henry County woman thrown in jail by probate judge Christina Peterson in 2021. Skelton had written her uncle's name on the original 2016 marriage certificate where it asked for her father, because her uncle is the one who raised her. She filed paperwork to change her marriage license just in case it was an issue. Instead, Peterson told her to come to court, then ordered her jailed 48 hours and fined $500 for contempt.
So we're going to be talking about the probate court judge, Christina Pearson. There was a hearing panel that recommended that this person should be removed from the office due to systematic incompetence. We're going to talk about why she was basically thrown out for not knowing how to do her job and much, much more. Let's get into it. So as you can see here, this is the person we're talking about, Christina J. Peterson, the Douglas County probate judge. As you see, she seems like she really likes social media. Little bit of familiarity. She kind of looks like someone that we cover a lot on this channel. But you notice she likes the social media game. But her primary job is to be a judge. You know, one of the most important jobs in our society. But the problem is that she was like really bad at her job. Yet she was making a good amount of money.
New developments in a Fox 5 I-Team investigation involving how big a paycheck a newly elected judge should be getting.
Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis says taxpayers won't be paying the judge as much as she wanted, but still more than some elected leaders feel that she deserves.
Before we jump in to finish this video, this video is super old. It is from 2021.
I'm looking for fairness across the board.
And for soon-to-be Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson, fairness would be to make $175,000 a year, around what the Superior and State Court judges in Douglas County are getting.
It's not being fair and consistent. I have those same qualifications as everyone else.
Forget that she's never been a judge before, and the probate judge's job is mainly to process wills, birth certificates, and marriage licenses. The man she's replacing made $96,000 a year.
What? Come on. So you already see where this is going. She wanted to make twice as much, or about twice as much, as the guy that she's replacing. He's been there 1,000 years. What is going on? This rookie judge with no experience won this kind of money? Interesting.
She knew what the pay was when she signed up to run.
The issue was so contentious in Douglas County that the chief judge of Superior Court offered his opinion before the budget vote, sending commissioners this letter listing the small number of probate court cases, 647, compared to the caseload for all the other courts.
It's not fair to compare that court to the other judges.
But commissioners would do just that, voting 3-2 that since Peterson is an attorney and her predecessor is not, she deserved a supplement of $36,688 to go with her state-mandated $88,110 a year salary. She'll make at least $124,000 a year. But that's not all. State law allows the probate judge to keep any fees paid for birth and death certificates. This year in Douglas County, that added up to more than $70,000.
We all know how this is going to end up, but this is interesting how this is just, 3 years ago, and she still was making all this money with little to no experience, and the workload can't be compared to the other types of courts. What could go wrong?
Retiring Judge Hal Hamrick kept half, returning the other half to the general fund. Judge Peterson says she will keep it all, meaning if that fee amount repeats next year, her actual pay could rise to as much as $194,000. That would be more than any other judge in the Douglas County Courthouse.
This is a sham. This is a shame for Douglas County. It is a dark day in Douglas County.
We reached out to Commissioner Ann Jones-Guider, one of the 2 no votes. She's afraid other constitutional officers will also insist on county supplements to their salary.
It's going to come back to bite us. I think Pandora's box has been opened then.
Interesting that she said that 3 years ago. Let's see all the things that she was doing wrong. This video was a year old. Douglas County Sheriff and Judge spar over overtime pay. Let's check it out.
The other top story tonight, drama in Douglas County with thousands of dollars on the line. The Douglas County Probate Court opens its doors just one Saturday every single quarter to help residents who can't get there during the work week.
But that may be in jeopardy as the sheriff and probate judge go back and forth about who will pay the deputies to work those days. If the 2 don't figure something out soon, Saturday court could be dismissed.
Well, from estate to guardianship claims, even marriage and weapon licenses, Douglas County Probate Court is set to open its doors next Saturday for all of its services. But I got my hands on a heated exchange threatening to shut it all down.
When I was elected, there's a lot of improvements that needed to be made with the probate court. So one of the things was, we're going to open on Saturdays. So I chose 4 Saturdays out the year to give people an opportunity to come to the court.
But probate judge Christina Peterson says on Monday she received this email saying her office needs to reimburse the sheriff's office the cost to pay the deputies to open the court on Saturday. The email went on to say if payments for the previous Saturday isn't made, the sheriff would not open the court on April 8th.
We're talking about law. There's no judge in the history of the country, maybe even the world, that is responsible to pay sheriff's deputies.
Sheriff Tim Pounds wrote, I too have a responsibility to the county and I intend to operate within my budget. The sheriff said county commissioners only approved some of the $600,000 in overtime funds he requested and wants the overtime for after-hour events, which add up to about $1,300 per Saturday, to be reimbursed by the judge. 11 Alive reached out to the sheriff for comment and he sent the following statement. We are waiting on a decision from the chief judge. That's all for now, to which Judge Peterson responded,
I have shared the law with him that it is his duty to provide services for the courthouse and to secure the courthouse and to provide services for the judges in session. We have contempt powers as well. We would never want to have the sheriff arrested. We would never want to have to fine the sheriff for not doing his job. So I really hope he complies.
Interesting. So it seems like the judge could be a bit greedy. This is a good comment right here. This is the judge who gets to keep the fines. She's doing this to make money. She wants to make a little bit more money. And she doesn't seem like she wants to share that wealth with the sheriffs who have to be there too. It's interesting. And right here, good comment. This is the same judge without any experience made more money than the Supreme Court justices in this county. She also embezzled money and the courthouse was only open on Saturday because she wanted to marry her friends. Interesting. Let's see exactly all the terrible things that she was doing.
To the I-Team now. Douglas County Probate Judge Christina Peterson lost her fight to dismiss most of the allegations against her involving judicial misconduct. Peterson faces 40 counts, accusing her of misusing her position and harming the public.
Remember now, this case started off with 50 alleged violations, but in May, investigators dropped 10 of them. Peterson wanted many of the rest also dismissed, but the Judicial Qualifications Commission said no. While running for probate judge in 2020, Christina Peterson posted a satirical
word of the day: homeless sexual. Homeless sexual. Is that something a judge should be putting out on any of the social media platforms? Homeless sex. It doesn't even make any sense. Not even funny. Look at that. She got the little filter on. Who does she remind you of? Put in the comments below.
Sometimes sexually graphic video of her playing a white man giving dating advice to a black woman. Around the same time, Peterson celebrated her birthday by posting her Cash App address on Instagram if anyone feels like sharing their quarantine wealth. And
the woman is making over 6 figures. She's putting a Cash App in. Greedy people. You make more money than most people in the country, and you put in your Cash App? People are disgusting, I swear.
She encouraged people to come meet her at a local bar in the days after she won her primary election. All these social media posts have her in judicial hot water, accused of violating the Judicial Code of Conduct, even though they happened when she was still a candidate. It's an interesting question. Can the state punish a judge for things said or done before they were sworn in? Judge Peterson says no and asks that most of the violations be dismissed. Instead, she got an answer that no judge likes to hear. You're wrong. In a 13-page order, the hearing panel for the Judicial Qualifications Commission rejected all of Peterson's motions. Writing, the Georgia Supreme Court has unequivocally held that the JQC's jurisdiction covers conduct undertaken while someone is a judge or judicial candidate. Her attorney, former JQC Chairman Lester Tate, disagrees.
It's not the job of the JQC to be overturning elections. We contend that even if everything they say is true, it's still not a disciplinary offense.
The order also leaves in place other disturbing allegations involving Peterson. Her decision to let 7 people into the courthouse for a Saturday wedding, even though the sheriff's office had warned earlier they didn't have staff to operate the security checkpoint.
She put all of the employees that work in this courthouse and the citizens who would come that Monday morning at risk.
Then there's Peterson's public.
With no security, what is wrong with this person? You can see the pattern of behavior. She thinks she can do whatever she wants to do. You can tell that's the kind of personality she has.
Dispute with her homeowners association, where she called one attendee a witch and offered the board a deal to dismiss a lawsuit she had filed.
I will dismiss the lawsuit.
And the time she ordered this woman jailed for contempt for 2 days. PJ Skelton asked to amend her wedding license after learning years later the true identity of her father. Peterson ruled she had lied on the initial application.
And you throw someone in jail for 2 days for this? For a simple mistake on a marriage certificate? God, this sounds like is she Tiffany Haynier's cousin?
Didn't have no thought in my mind like she's about to get arrested. I didn't have that in my mind at all.
No one told you to bring a lawyer, that you might need an attorney?
No one. I thought it was going to be an easy fix.
If you read all of these alleged violations, it paints a picture of a judge who is out of control.
Well, that may be your take on it, but it was not the take on Christina Peterson when the people of Douglas County voted her into office as a probate judge. And next year she'll be standing for election again. So if the people think that those judges are out of control, wherever they may be, they have the authority in the state of Georgia to vote those judges out of office.
Meanwhile, the GBI continues investigating whether Douglas County employees misuse their purchase cards to buy personal items. Judge Peterson doesn't have a P card, but she does have a county credit card. We found around $4,500 charged to USAA Insurance. Peterson did not provide records showing the county purpose for those charges. Her attorney offered no additional information.
Awesome. This guy, I mean, clearly, even he probably realizes this judge sucks. All those things, I would not want her to be a judge. But I think the most troubling situation involved Peterson's decision to jail a woman who tried to amend her marriage certificate. Peterson's actions and behavior has sparked a lot of controversies and raised questions about her competency and her judgment in her role as a judge.
An extraordinary development tonight in the long-running investigation into Douglas County Judge Christina Peterson.
In a rare move, a hearing panel decided Peterson is guilty of, quote, systemic incompetence and should not remain in office. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis explains.
Judge, you want to take a break? Peterson did not do herself any favors during 7 days of hearings beginning last September. The JQC hearing panel's report criticized her for not taking any responsibility for the 30 counts of judicial misconduct lodged against her.
Did you go to this hearing with any idea that you may be going to jail?
No.
PJ Skelton served 2 days of a 20-day jail sentence for contempt before her husband could pay a $500 fine. Such a hasty and shockingly disproportionate reaction is the hallmark of Peterson's intemperance, wrote the panel. She once hit a panic button when a deputy was late escorting her to court, causing a temporary panic among security. And when county staff criticized her actions, it quickly triggers allegations of obstructionism or even racism. These communications and actions reveal a judge who publicly vilifies colleagues, is quick to threaten them with unnecessary legal action, and generally projects a spiteful and vainglorious persona.
This sounds like someone that I've been covering for months. Put in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But this sounds very familiar. The lack of accountability. The idea that they're better and holier than thou than anyone else. If you criticize them, they will try to find ways to make your life miserable. And also, if all else doesn't work, break open glass, race card, racism. Even though she's making more money than Supreme Court judges. This is the kind of people we're dealing with. She's a predator, just like the other person I cover. Predators, they find ways to take advantage and never take accountability for their own actions.
I'm the first African-American female and Democrat. Yes, I was never celebrated or congratulated. The first, on my day of swearing in, I was sworn in by Judge Emerson. I received my first JQC complaint.
Peterson's main defense was her inexperience as a judge, a problem she promised has been addressed through additional training. But the panel was not buying it. The hearing panel said Peterson was guilty of systemic incompetence. Judges are expected to act in a manner that promoted the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. Respondent has shown that she cannot or will not do so, and so she must go.
Damn, see that? She must go. And I agree. She's terrible. She is really, really terrible. When a judge doesn't do their job well, over and over again, there's a special group that comes in to check in what's going on, and this is where they took and checked into everything the judge has done to check to see if they're fair or unfair, following the rules, or making some big mistakes, and they definitely found it in Judge Peterson. Basically, point blank, she wasn't doing her job. It's extremely important for judges to do their job well because they make decisions that affect people's lives. If a judge isn't fair or doesn't follow the rules, it can make people lose interest in the whole legal system. A lot of people who don't trust the legal system right now. One of the most immediate and severe dangers of having an incompetent judge is the risk of miscarriages of justice, just like with that young lady spending 2 days in jail. Incorrect rulings, whether it's due to a lack of understanding of the law or failure to properly assess the evidence, can lead to wrongful convictions or acquittals. For the wrongly convicted, that means unjust prison sentences, loss of livelihood, and irreversible damage to their reputation and relationships. Also, just legal and financial consequences. If a judge don't know what the hell they're doing, this leads to more legal battles, as decisions are made by an incompetent judge are more likely to be appealed. This not only places a financial burden on the parties involved, but also strains the judicial system, diverting resources away from other cases that deserve attention. So this person sucks. I think she's going to try to get reelected again. Let me check something real quick. So we can check out Peterson's For the People Instagram, is I guess her professional Instagram. So this is from the Douglas Democrats County Committee, Georgia. They're basically saying that the GOP is attacking them. They're using the political card to make it seem like the people are out after her because she's a Democrat, not because she really sucks at her job. Typical political crap. You guys can read the rest of that on her Instagram. And you could tell, and this is so familiar to the other person that we talk about. When all else fails, use the Lord. CJ, don't worry. No weapon formed against you will prosper. God will make your enemies your footstool. I don't know you personally, but I dislike bullies and evil at work. This is a fake message that she put for someone else. She wrote this to herself. She looked like she was the bully. What is this person talking about? There's some people who are going to always be loyal to narcissistic people, and there's nothing you can really do about it. First, they tried suppressing the vote, but the numbers overcame them. Now they tried to dissuade good candidates from running or doing their duties through threats and intimidation. That's what you were doing. But courage overcame them. They tried rumors and charges on unethical behavior, something they all know too well. We see evidence of you having unethical behavior, spending money, opening up the court with there was no sheriffs there. What happened if there was a fight or an issue? How are you going to be able to defend? You press a panic button because a sheriff was late to escort you somewhere. You are a narcissist, and this is the kind of the people that we do not need to be judges. It's just a playbook of these type of narcissistic people. It's embarrassing. It's cringe-worthy. Hopefully, she does not ever become a judge at all. Luckily, she still has her license. So I think maybe she just want to be an influencer, promoting parties and whatnot, boost her Instagram. She could just do that instead of actually being a judge, because that's extremely important. We need people who actually care more about the rights and serving the rights of the people rather than being famous and looking good. So let me know what you guys think about this story. Put it in the comments below as usual. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, And I'll see you guys in the next video.